Hey guys, welcome back to the Geek Land. My name is Jeff. Roll the intro.
Well, here I am.
And today we're going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the 9th film by Quentin Tarantino, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie. I'm not going to do major spoilers in this film. I'm going to get into what I liked, and then I'm going to let you guys know if I recommend you going and spending your money to see this movie. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Rick Dalton, a Hollywood actor who does mostly westerns, and is now getting to the point where he is getting older, and he's kind of washed up. He has a meeting with Al Pacino's character, Marvin Schwartz, at the beginning of the movie, and he basically tells him that you can be villains in other TV shows with new leading men that are up and coming, or you can go to Italy and make Italian spaghetti westerns. Rick Dalton does not take that news very well. Him and his stunt double, played by Brad Pitt, Cliff Booth, leave the restaurant, and Dalton is upset because he's basically been told he's a has-been. Before I saw this movie, or before I saw any trailers for it, I thought it was going to be more about the Sharon Tate murders, but it's actually following DiCaprio's character of Rick Dalton around quite a bit, along with Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt. Margot Robbie is playing Sharon Tate, and she is intertwined in the story. She's living next door to him in the Hollywood Hills with director Roman Polanski, played by, I'm not even going to pronounce this guy's name. I'm going to put it on the bottom of the screen because I don't want to butcher his name. So she is living next door to Dalton. Brad Pitt's character, Cliff Booth, who plays DiCaprio's stunt double, has been driving him around and doing chores for him and things like that while he works because Dalton got a DUI and can't drive. Doesn't have a license. We start going through a little bit of their day-to-day. We see DiCaprio's character, Rick Dalton, struggle with not being the leading man anymore. And that's one of the biggest parts of the movie and the biggest plot points of the movie, and him kind of coming to terms with that. So let's get into the acting. Of course, Leonardo DiCaprio knocks it out of the park. He's probably the best working actor in Hollywood, in my opinion, and one of my favorites of all time. I wasn't a big fan of him on Titanic, but after that, he was on a roll. I'm pretty sure there's nothing this guy can't do. Every time I see him in a new movie, he always continues to amaze me with his acting skills and how well he does these roles and how well he sinks himself into these roles. Brad Pitt, who plays his stunt double, Cliff Booth, also does a phenomenal job in this movie, as always, and holds his own with DiCaprio when they're on screen together, and their banter together and their characters, the way they work off each other, is what makes this movie work so well. Margot Robbie's character, Sharon Tate, is not in this movie a lot, but when she is in the movie, her character is electric and her performance is fantastic. Timothy Olyphant, who has a small role, who plays a character called James Stacy, he has a new show that DiCaprio is going to be playing the villain in instead of being the lead man, and I've always liked Timothy Olyphant. I think he's a great actor. I think he's very underrated. Most everything I've seen him in, I think he's done a phenomenal job, and this is no exception. He has a very small part, but he does amazing in this role. Another actor in this movie is Mike Moh. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. M-O-H. He plays Bruce Lee, and him and Brad Pitt's character have a really great scene in the backlot of the studio while DiCaprio's character is off shooting his spot. Bruce Lee, of course, is in his Kato outfit from the Green Hornet TV series, so that is pretty cool to see. This is one of my favorite scenes in the film. Just well acted and well played between these two characters and these two actors. These actors work really well together, and it's just a great scene. Luke Perry has a very, very short cameo in this movie. He plays the father of the little girl that DiCaprio is threatening if he doesn't get some money in his villain role. Luke Perry does a very good job in this part, and I think he's a great actor as well, and I'm really happy to see him pop up in this. Just now looking at the cast list, I saw Damian Lewis pop up in the Playboy Mansion scene, and he's talking, and I did not know he was playing Steve McQueen. I just realized that by reading IMDb, and I've always loved Damian Lewis, and he did a fantastic job in the small little bit he got to play as Steve McQueen. Al Pacino doesn't have that big of a role, but of course he knocks it out of the park, as usual, playing a Hollywood executive. And Dakota Fanning, in her small role in this film as Squeaky, does a brilliant job. When you go see a Tarantino film, you know the actors are usually going to be on the top of their game, and this is no exception. Tarantino pulls the best performance out of each actor on screen, and it shows every take. I've been a fan of Tarantino since I saw Reservoir Dogs, and I love the way he frames shots, and this film is no exception. There are some great long shots and some great following shots, and I just like the way he sets up shots and he frames a scene. I love how he always keeps it unique and interesting and fresh, and it's not always the same thing. A lot of the actors who play the Manson gang in this movie do a great job as well, and they make it believable that they're really crazy and out there people. Damon Harriman plays Charles Manson, and he's only on screen for a brief moment, and it's a very creepy little performance. There's a scene between an actress named Trudy, played by Julia Butters, and Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and it's also one of my favorite scenes in the movie. The back and forth between these characters, and DiCaprio's character Dalton is explaining a book he's reading to her, and how the character in the book was at the top of his game, and now that he's getting older and has had some injuries, has to face the facts that he's not the best at what he does anymore. And DiCaprio's character gets very emotional about this because he's dealing with the exact same issue. A really great performance and a really great scene from DiCaprio and from Julia Butters as well. And they have another moment after DiCaprio's big acting moment as a villain that makes this little scene even more of a payoff. I'm not going to get into the ending of this movie, but this is a Quentin Tarantino film, so don't expect anything to be what you think it's going to be. There's also a really great scene of Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate going into the movie theater to watch herself on screen, and didn't replace Sharon Tate with Margot Robbie, but they used Sharon Tate's actual footage, and her reaction to the audience reacting to her character is a really great moment as well. This is not my favorite Tarantino film, but on a list from best to worst, even being the worst of Tarantino's films, is probably the best of most other directors' careers. The music in this movie was fantastic, as always, with Tarantino using perfect music to set up scenes from that time period. And this movie is no exception. The cinematography in this movie is also done really, really well by Robert Richardson. If you're a fan of these actors and Tarantino, I recommend seeing this movie. It actually is very funny. I did not expect as much comedy as humor from it as I got, but it really was, especially the interactions between Brad Pitt's character and DiCaprio's character. I'm not going to dive too deep into the plots. Like I was saying earlier, I don't want to give too much away about this because it's a Tarantino film, and don't ever expect anything to be what you think it's going to be. That's why I'm not really going to get into it now. But I really did enjoy this film. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick review. I do recommend you go see this in the theater or rent it when it comes out. It's definitely worth the money if you want to go see it in the theater. I'm Jeff from the Geek Blend. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We got more movie reviews coming out. I actually wanted to do a review of Lion King before this, but I wanted to get this review out there because I really enjoyed this movie. So the Lion King review is coming next. I'll be doing some Pokemon Go game streaming this week as well. And I've got some other videos in the works with tech products and smart home products. Make sure you leave a like on the video. It does help a lot. We do appreciate it. And please hit the bell for notifications so you can stay up to date on all the videos we release on the channel. That way you guys won't miss anything. And I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about something. I use my iPhone camera through OBS camera app on my phone, and I record through OBS, and that's how I do my videos. And the quality is not the best, and it kind of limits a lot of things I can do. This channel is continuing to grow, and it's continuing to grow all the time, and I really want to do this more and more and eventually do this as a living. We do have a Patreon page, and I do appreciate if you guys would go check that out. We only have 2 patrons as of now, but when we get more, we will be doing more exclusive stuff on that page. And the reason I'm mentioning our Patreon is because I really would like to get a new camera for the channel to do some better quality video for you guys, since I'm doing more and more. So if you'd like to give through Patreon, we do appreciate that. And that'll get us one step closer to our goal of getting a new camera for the channel, which is the main focus right now. But anything you guys give will go into a new camera or any other equipment we need for the channel. And we do appreciate everything you guys do for us, leaving likes, subscribing, comment. We appreciate all of it. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm Jeff for the Geek Blend, as always. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed this review, and I definitely recommend you go see this movie. And if you did, leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Later.